is that Trump has basically bled out the Republican National Committee. He put his daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, whatever it is. So she's in charge of the money, and basically it's all going to his legal fees. So if you've given money to the RNC, that's what's happening. They don't have any real campaign money or anything. As where Biden's got, campaign offices in all the swing states now, and he's out campaigning real hard while Trump's in trial. It is actually funny to see the comparison where you see like Trump in trial and you see Biden out on the campaign trail eating ice cream and shooting the shit with people. Just to kind of squeeze. Look, see, I'm a normal guy who has his freedom. I'm not in trial for trying to hide an affair to win an election. So, but meanwhile, the Trump's campaign is doing nothing. I mean, it's all trash, and it's gotten even worse because Lara Trump's got her new scheme. And we'll get into this, and this has been my solace.
Who work for the RNC, who are going to be physically handling ballots during the election, which is not legal. Listen to Lara Trump in her own words, and then let's talk about it. Play this clip.
Now have the ability at the RNC not just to have poll watchers, people standing in polling locations, but people who can physically handle the ballots. We want people all across this country.
Can we do this? I want to hear. This is really fascinating to me. So you have 100,000 people who are they? I think I saw paid at one point, but whatever, irrelevant. But so they will be stationed inside polling places? I didn't even know you could do that. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So there was a moratorium for about 40 years on the RNC actually training people to work in these polling locations and the tabulation centers where the mail-in ballots come in. And last year, the judge who implemented that passed away, so that was lifted. And that gives us a great ability as we head into what I assume everyone understands is the most important election of our life.
So I don't even know how to begin with this. So what she's saying is we're going to have our people that we paid, our loyalists, in there, and they're going to handle the ballots. Oh, I can't hear you. You have to unmute, Lace.
That seems like a really stupid idea.
It's illegal. It's totally illegal. You can't do that. They can have people there to watch, but they can't have people there handling the ballots. Just like the Democrats can't have their own operatives handling the ballots, right? You have independent state workers that do that. The other thing that's insane is her logic on this is, well, the judge who passed that initial moratorium or that judgment, well, he just died, so it doesn't count anymore. That's not how the law works. Just because the judge died doesn't mean the ruling has been lifted. I was found guilty of murder, but the judge just croaked the other day, so that gets lifted, and I get to go home.
So, guess I'm in the clear then.
It's just fucking.
I can't even.
Yeah, it's insane. I don't know what to. I mean, it's. They have no money, and they're wasting their time doing this illegal shit. They don't even. I don't think they plan on winning. I think they plan on trying to rig it.
Well, I mean, they were already broke too, and now they're just bleeding everything out into his legal fees. That's not good for the already broke Republican Party.
No, and he's stuck in court. You know, if he gets convicted, he's really fucked. I don't know where you go from there. And they have no money to try and get anybody in office. I mean, it looks like they're going to lose the House. The Senate is up for grabs, but the Democrats at least have money to run people and run ads. The Democrats are going to get to set the entire tone for the election. I'm not upset about any of this. I'm just saying that's what it is. And meanwhile, they're trying to limit their power in the House, which is the only part of the government they control. They're infighting and eliminating their own power within the House. They don't want to govern. They want to be the minority party. But here, Brian Tyler Cohen and Glenn Kirshner, who I think Glenn Kirshner's in here. No, I forget this other guy. He's a different lawyer. But they cover this a little bit. But it's just insane with the Lara Trump thing.
This is Democracy Watch. So, Mark, I want to turn your attention to a statement from Lara Trump that sent shockwaves through this country just ahead of the election.
We now have the ability at the RNC not just to have poll watchers, people standing in polling locations, but people who can physically handle the ballots.
Okay, so first off, what is she talking about? And is it true that the RNC can have their operatives physically handling ballots?
Okay, so first of all, let's start with the second question. No, the RNC cannot have its operatives, who are poll watchers, handle ballots. Like, one of the cardinal rules of election administration in this country is that observers cannot handle ballots. Partisan, observers or challengers, or whatever you call them, do not touch ballots. They can't even like put their finger up against a ballot that someone else is holding. The ballots are handled very, very carefully, and they are only handled by the actual election officials. Now, in terms of, what she's talking about, like, there's two possibilities here. One is she is actually revealing a plan that the RNC has to infiltrate election offices with partisans to, in fact, mess with the ballots. And I would, in a normal world or in a normal year, discount that, because you'd say, well, that seems far-fetched. But let's just remember the person, one of the three lawyers that the new chair of the RNC hired, the one that he hired to run the election integrity program of the RNC, she was just indicted in Arizona for election subversion. So
that's the other big kick. The story I'll cover it later, but in Arizona, they just did what Georgia did. They just indicted a bunch of people for trying to interfere with the election. And the only person they haven't indicted yet is Trump. They indicted all the others, most of them that were involved in the Georgia scheme. And the woman who is now running the election integrity for the RNC, that's appointed by Donald Trump and Lara Trump, has just been indicted for election interference in Arizona.
I mean, this just keeps getting stupider. They're just like, hey, we're over here doing illegal crap, waving their little flags.
Right.
Hi, over here doing illegal crap. Oh, my goodness.
Trying to overthrow the election.
You cannot make this up.
Nope. So that's what's going on. I mean, I don't know what she thinks. Is that really their plan, or is she just confused, or what?
Yeah, it's hard to tell if she's incompetent or if it's like really some malicious intent. Like is this your plan, or are you an idiot?
I think it's both. Most criminals are not ultra bright. If they were, they wouldn't be criminals. It'd be a lot harder to catch.
Right.
I think that's the deal. I think she kind of knows it's wrong, but I think she thinks she can get away with it. That she doesn't realize that she's basically confessing to election fraud on television. This is like announcing you're going to rob the bank before you try to rob the bank. But she doesn't think anybody can do anything about it. So
we're going to have our bank observers handle the money?
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding?
And it's all going to be overseen by this recently indicted bank robber. Yeah. Makes you feel good about American democracy, doesn't it?
Makes me hope the Canadians would be willing to take a few of us.
To flee to Europe. Putin doesn't take it over.
Right?
Well...